In terms of the policy implications of this, obviously it's going nowhere. The Senate's probably not even going to take it up. But we're seeing this increasing push, particularly after the Gosnell trial, that this was someone who was doing late-term abortions, and in many cases they were illegal under Pennsylvania state law. And obviously they were tremendous abuses there, and he's now going away.
He's a criminal.
Yeah, he's
he had an illegal clinic, and he's a criminal. I mean, that's the bottom line, you know.
Absolutely. But the right-wing sort of anti-abortion rights movement, I'm trying to use that phrase rather than go completely what I feel, which is the anti-choice movement.
Anti-woman movement.
Anti-women's rights movement. Anti-human rights movement. Because I think that men have a stake in it as well.
That's right.
The pro-choice movement. But the right wing really sees an opening here. You've reported on that. That's what they're saying behind closed doors in these conferences. Should we be afraid? I mean, is this going to get any traction? Because some of this late-term abortion stuff, the public is a little bit ambivalent about it, or they have weird notions about it.
I think that's right. And I think that we would be, I think those of us who are pro-choice and progressive would, you know, it behooves us to pay attention to this stuff. There's a reason they did this, even though they know they can't pass it in this Congress. And that's because the grandstanding, they believe, will, you know, and the airtime that they got to advance their tropes, some might say lies, will play in their favor, especially on the heels of Gosnell. Now, yes, I was covering last week Ralph Reed, formerly the director of the Faith and Freedom Coalition, formerly implicated in the Abramoff scandal. He had his Faith and Freedom Coalition come to Washington, and on that stage, former Republican Congresswoman, well, she's still a Republican, Marilyn Musgrave, who now works with the ironically named Susan B. Anthony list, which is a anti-choice group, said, you know, that the Gosnell trial, with all of its gruesome details, presented for the anti-choice movement a moment such as they have not seen in their lifetimes, and that they need to seize it. And that's exactly what they're doing by trying to conflate all abortion with Gosnell's practices. And we know that there is no relationship. I mean, what Gosnell was doing is already illegal, right? It's already illegal. And the guy is serving murder sentences. But as long as they can, you know, look, nobody feels like really great about abortion, right? And there are aspects of it that are kind of icky. So, and there's really, you know, there are real moral questions that people have to answer for themselves. So the more you can plant those seeds of doubt, the more you plant the more you pave the way for what's taking place in the states right now, where these kinds of measures are being brought up in the states, such as Texas, just this last week. And, you know, it really creates a hostile environment for women.
It's such a good point, Addie. You know, I think it's really tragic that sort of a real case of criminal murder and negligence by one doctor would be so shamelessly exploited to restrict women's rights. And if you're interested in this issue and in this cause, I encourage you all to read Addie's stuff at RH Reality Check, rhrealitycheck.org, and follow Addie on Twitter at Adele Stan. Addie, we're going to take a quick break, but when we continue, I want to get your take on the new rules or attempt to take military sexual assault out of the chain of command that did fail in committee in the Senate, and what other, perhaps more modest reforms we might win out of this fight. So stay tuned when Take Action News continues after this.